Hey BookTube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. Um, Fingers crossed that the garbage truck has already come and that the dogs don't start barking. But my days of filming outside are really going to become limited before long, so I thought I would take advantage of this. It's quite early in the morning for me to be filming, so like I said, I'm just hoping the garbage truck has already come by. Today I'm going to be doing two tags. I was tagged by Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot. That is a fantastic channel, and definitely check her out if you haven't already. And this is the How Do You Find Time to Read and the Book Buying History tag. So the first one is How Do You Find Time to Read? And this was created by Working Man Reads. And like I said, I was tagged by Sandy and Miss Reads a Lot. Okay, so where is your favorite place to read? I don't know that I have a favorite place. I do love reading outside. I read outside a little bit yesterday, which was just glorious. I like reading on my couch because we have a big front window and I can see the birds and see what's going on outside. And I like reading in bed. I like reading on my recliner. So yeah, I can read in a lot of places. I feel pretty lucky in that sense. So question 2, do you read every day? For the most part, yeah. Some days I'm just too tired. Some days other things, just get in the way. But for the most part, I do read every day. Question 3, do you read out loud to any family members? So, Jason does not like me to read out loud to him. I do once in a while, but Jason really loves to read out loud to me. So last night he was reading Oscar and Lucinda. I was going to sleep, and so he just read to me until I fell asleep. So that was fantastic. And I will say, like, sometimes it gets frustrating because I'll be reading out loud. Like, I remember when I was reading some Walt Whitman poetry, and also for sure Shakespeare. If I'm reading something like that out loud, like lots of times Jason can say the next line of the poem or the next line in the play, and it gets a little frustrating. Sometimes he is so in love with a book that I have to limit him to, I'm like, okay, you can read me one thing from this book each day, but that's it. so we do that is an ongoing conversation in my household. Question 4, your favorite career for a main character to have? And I thought about this a little bit, and I think, I'm gonna leave that to the author as to what the career of the main character is. I can't say that I'm necessarily drawn to any kind of story that's one thing or another. I mean, Miss Marple, right? Like, she's a fantastic character, and she's a little retired lady in rural England. So yeah, she doesn't work. So yeah, I think it's best left for the author to decide that, and I will follow along. Question 5, do you read at work? I have a policy on this channel not to talk about my job, so I'm gonna pass on this question. Question 6, tell me what book you are going to read today. So I am reading Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, and yeah, I have a lot of reading to do in that today, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so the next tag is the book buying history tag, which was created by One Book, One Review, and again, Sandy tagged me. So, and this is, yeah, I mean, we've talked about book buying a lot on my channel. In 2020, Jason and I each bought one book and we had decided that before COVID. So the focus was supposed to be, and it was for me more than Jason, but the focus was supposed to be on reading what we already own. I'm pretty sure we own more than 1,000 books. And I think now, obviously, Jason and I, we haven't read the exact same books from the library. So I don't know combined how many of those books we've read, but I think each of us has probably read about a third of the library that we have. So, and I was able to give away and donate a lot of books that I read that year because I knew I wasn't going to come back to them and that sort of thing. So I was curious about this. Question number 1, where do I get my books? So I get them from my own personal home library for almost entirely. Occasionally I will pick up something from the library. I don't feel like the library is a whole heck of a lot safer than it once was. I have been to the library a couple times, more often in 2021 than in 2020. I mean, in 2020 they were closed for a fair amount of time. And I don't know that I went at all that year. Again, because I was really, really trying to focus on books we already owned. It's not that I'm opposed to libraries by any means, but I just don't go very much because I have so much here. We do have one independent bookstore that until recently we did not shop at, and then the owners changed and they made fantastic changes. There's so much more inventory in the store. It's just really, really wonderful because pretty much otherwise, like, there's no place to buy books where I live. I live in a book desert. So if there was a Barnes and Noble here, wow, I shudder to think of what our library would look like. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, and to be truthfully honest, when I started dating Jason, we were friends for a long time before that, but when I started dating him, he was working at Barnes and Noble, and yeah, he would get his paycheck, he would pay his parents rent because he was living with them at the time, and and I think he spent all the rest of his paycheck on books. So it is a challenge when you're married to an avid reader as well to keep the collection under some kind of control. Pretty much I just get books from my own home library. And then if I'm gonna buy a book, I would like to buy it from an independent bookstore, or there's a catalog company called Bablu, and they're like an independent bookstore but with a catalog. And they sell lots of great bookish gifts. I really like them. I'll link to their website down below if you're looking for bookish gifts. And then yes, like, for sure we buy books online, in part again because we're just so limited here and we're really still not going to stores or things like that. So like I said, we went to the independent bookstore maybe 2 or 3 times this year, and that's it. And I don't really anticipate I may go there once more this year, but that's it. Question number 2, how do I choose the books I get? Well, again, I'm not really super focused on buying books. So I tend to look at what we already have and the things I wanted to read for a long time. I go to my Goodreads TBR. I have a personal one, and then I have one for this channel. The one for this channel will be linked down below. I try to see what's the oldest book on there. you know, and focus on things that have been on my TBR for ages and ages. I also get a ton of recommendations from BookTube, of course. The new Susanna Clark book, oh my gosh, Piranesi, am I saying that right? I hope I'm saying that right. I've heard so many great things about it. I also saw a video that said like it's not worth the hype or something like that, but that's going to be coming out in paperback before long, so that's the next book I'm planning on buying, and that is mainly because I've heard so many great things about it on BookTube. So yeah, I'm always kind of on the lookout on BookTube for things that I might like to read in the future, but mainly I'm still pretty much focused on my bookshelves. I think Joe Smith told me recently that I had a tremendous amount of self-restraint, but again, like, I have so many books here to choose from that it's hard to justify going out to buying a book. Okay, so now to tag. Now, I picked several people, and I apologize if you've done both of these tags. Maybe you've only done one of them and you can do the other one. I did try to search around a little bit, so again, I really apologize if you have already done both of these tags. But so I'm going to tag quite a few people. David Wiley, Fully Booked, Mindy's Book Journey, Red Dot Reads, Teacup the Storyteller, and Sluggish Reader. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, BookTube.